Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Random Live number 105, Slave Days. It is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, 7 p.m. If you saw a notification earlier for 6 p.m., that's when I was going to do this one. But uh, Pat over at Squatch Talk did an impromptu live. I assume it was because I didn't see the notification for it until after I'd posted this one for 6 p.m. He started that at 5:35, and and went a little over an hour. And Lowrider was saying, "Hey, go ahead and do a live." And I hate to do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I did plan on doing it tonight. It's just here we are. Here we are. So I know some people will want to dip out about halfway through to go over to WTF Live with Mokes. I understand and get it. That's cool. um, so I'm not going to talk about that particular issue tonight that Pat was covering. You may have also seen the notification for Saturday night. That's when we'll have a thing or two to say about it. It's going to be similar enough to some other people. Difference is I'll probably be reading all of you guys' comments about the matter on screen. So that will probably be one of the more distinguishing characteristics of my show addressing this compared to everyone else. A lot of people are going to have some very similar things to say about it. It seems like people almost universally condemn it, but the issue that we're talking about. So yeah. Let's see here. Brian Chewy, go hiking. Welcome, Raptor Crazy. Welcome, Low Kilroy. Welcome, Angel Nolan. We got Teresa Roth. I don't think you've been here before. Welcome. And what was the dangerous rhetoric Pat seemed to get mad about? I'm not entirely certain, but it seemed like he cut short. So that's I don't know. I don't know what was bothering him. Clearly something. I mean, it seemed like he cut off pretty abruptly there. Raptor says, I didn't even get a notification with Pat's channel. It was just live. I don't know if it was YouTube or what. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you need to open, constantly be opening a new browser or something. I don't know. It seems like, yeah, like if I go to YouTube right now where I have this live pulled up and I hit the home after we shut down the live, right? And I hit home, it'll go to home and it will still show me live. If I leave that tab there for 2 hours and I go back to it 2 hours from now and I hit home and reload it, it will still show me live. The YouTube has a flaw in that regard, at least on computers. I don't know about phones, where you got to open a whole new tab to get it to show you what the new things are that are live and stop showing you the stuff that was live before. So that's an issue. Teresa says, I don't think anyone tried to make him mad. I don't think anyone did, but someone may have said something. There are certainly a couple of people in the chat that could have sparked an issue. Certainly. So yeah. Low Rider, welcome. He says, hooray. Lockbeard, hooray. Welcome. Beelan, welcome. Tracy Bennett, welcome. Angel Nolan says, I think people talking about getting locked on BO. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's old news. We might as well just let it lie. That's my advice to everybody. Let it lie. Because there's been some degree of criticism about, well, why all of a sudden, our people or some of us who have been very critical of Bigfoot Odyssey in the past suddenly, not wanting to address that. Well, look, the man just died. It's a time for respect. It's the battle's over, and regardless of our disagreements, this guy was not Adolf Hitler. And even if it was Adolf Hitler, are you really going to walk up to his children a month after he dies and say, well, your dad was a piece of shit or some shit like that? You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. It's point. The man is dead. What has happened in the past is now in the past. We'll see what happens going into the future. But he's only been gone a month. So it's still, let it lie for a while. Okay. Let it lie. There's no there. You don't attack a guy who is just died. You just let it go for a while. We got plenty of other fish to fry, and I think Mark Zasky has put himself at the front of the line. How convenient. So you know what I mean. So let's we beat it to death. The complaints went on and on. It's time to just let it go for a while. Now, I'm not saying it forever. Because there's people who passed years ago that we sometimes bring up because they're an example of a hoaxer and stuff like that. And we need to keep those refreshing them stories, right? Because there's new people coming into the subject of Bigfoot, of cryptids, of UFOs, of ghosts, and you got to introduce them to some of the old games so they don't fall for the old games all over again, like a bunch of TikTokers are right now with Rick Dyer. So yeah. Good evening. Teresa says, only reason they said it was in relation to Zasky. Yeah, I know. It's just there's Donald doing some welding and listening. Well, alrighty then. That's first I heard of that one. Some of it was, but I think it sounds like Pat probably didn't want to talk about all that. I don't know for sure. I'm not sure exactly, but it just seemed like an abrupt end to his live stream. I was trying to encourage him to bring someone on because the viewers got up to 100 at some point, so people clearly want to engage in this discussion, and so I'm talking about it for a minute here, but I think we should save it for Saturday. That's officially when we talk about Bigfoot community type stuff, and we'll give everyone a few more days to settle down a little bit, and hopefully the commentary in the chat is real cool, calm, and collected by then. And I do encourage everyone to try and be pretty cool, calm, and collected about how we address this, because there's a lot we do not know. So we just think about What do we actually know? What is our actual point of contention in the matter? Angels, didn't read that, did I? I do feel for Linda losing her husband. Never really watched his show. Donald says, yeah, it was me being a paying member and getting blocked. Just still have an issue with it. It wasn't Carrie did it. It was someone else. Carrie had no clue I was blocked. Teresa says, let's fry some fish. Yeah, I'm all about frying some fish. I mean, hopefully, the result of this is that a lot of people that have been paying to regularly get, photos and whatnot from Mark Zasky, that are just pareidolia. It's all pareidolia. Someone has also suggested that he actually puts his own artwork in the woods and to fake, Bigfoot photos. And I don't know about that one. I would have to see some evidence for that one to make a come to a decision on it one way or another. I don't know about that, but that one has been suggested. But hopefully, the money that's been going to him will stop. Hopefully, he realizes that the way he went about this was wrong, and hopefully the money flow stops going to him and starts going to people who actually want to find things. People who are not going to be going out and finding you pareidolia and saying, "Look, it's Bigfoot." You know, um, so if you take time to get to know the person that you're dealing with and know that you're not giving your money to someone who's going to fake shit. Of course, I put myself in the running. I would love to be able to go out and try to find some evidence. I want to see them actually proven, and I've explained that before. Why I think that's a good thing to do. It's not, it's beyond just my personal curiosity, my personal scientific curiosity. I want to discover everything. but yeah. Let's get on with what we were going to. Raptor says, "Yeah, that was pretty rude of Mark posting on the internet. She has enough problems. Don't need to go through that bull crap at this time." Yeah, exactly. Tracy says, "Stay away from TikTok. It's run by the CCP." Yeah, we don't want any part of that. Man, there's some crazy stuff going on. What man? China's we got people need to keep a goddamn eye on China. I tell you what. Pine Island here says, in fairness, you went after BL when Keller was alive and you never brought Linda into it. Mark crossed the line beyond critical. He crossed an immoral boundary. Yeah. Yeah. There was no reason to bring her into it. I mean, it's just, yeah, exactly. And welcome to the chat. Raptor says at Pine Island, I agree with that 100%. That was really rude. Relow Rider says if Rick Dyer suddenly goes cold, I'll remain emotionless for 14 days. Well, I don't wish death on anyone, for something. So, if you're a hoaxer, you're a hoaxer. I don't like you. But I certainly don't wish them to die. So Rick Dyer, whatever. I mean, if I can find a way to prove he's a hoaxer to a few of his believers, which I can't understand why anyone believes him. He sounds fake. He sounds fake as fuck on TikTok. I mean, how does anyone fall and actually believe in that? Or are we stupid for believing that those people actually believe Rick Dyer? Maybe they don't actually believe Rick Dyer, and we're the ones that are stupid. Tracy Venice says, I put up my black Christmas tree and decorated for Halloween because I am touched in the head. Donald says, I don't think he puts his own artwork in the woods. The artwork is done after with Photoshop. I've asked Zasky for metadata and he won't give it up. What's that tell you? Yep. Raptor says, "Hey Tracy, everybody's touching the head. That's why we're all here." Tracy says, "I used to look for pareidolia when I was little. I didn't know what it was called. I would look for faces on stained wood." Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it'll pop up, you look in the clouds. Yeah, a lot of times I'll see shit in bathroom tiles for some damn reason. See faces and whatnot. I have no idea how much land he owns. Cowboy Sarah says, "Howdy, y'all. I've hoaxed every Bigfoot sighting I've seen." Welcome to the chat, Cowboy. So you guys seen this face here before. This is Sticks, Axe, and Hammer. This is his channel over on Rumble. He's going to talk a little bit about. We're not going to spend too much time on politics, but it's a little bit about some politics. It's just a story. It's about hypocrisy. Yes, it's about hypocrisy. Let's check it out.
First, to the Arizona race, we've got Katie Hobbs implicated in her latest scandal. She's already said bigoted shit in the past, and it sort of blows over because she's a Democrat, so naturally nobody's going to look deeply into it. Newly unearthed yearbook photos raise questions about Katie Hobbs' link to her school's Slave Day. Arizona Democratic gubernatorial candidate Katie Hobbs was a student leader at her Catholic preparatory high school when pupils took part in a yearly tradition known as Slave Day. Copies from past yearbooks of Seton Catholic Preparatory High School were obtained by DailyMail.com and appear to show the practice went on for nearly 4 decades, last mentioned in a yearbook from 1997. Hobbs, who played an active student body role as a member of the yearbook staff and student council for part of her tenure, went to school there from 1984 through 1988. The tradition entails freshman students performing tasks for senior class masters that include performing embarrassing acts of servitude. One example from the 1985 yearbook, which would have been the end of Hobbs' freshman year, describes slaves in her grade wearing unbecoming hairdos and unbecoming outfits, sporting embarrassing signs, and performing embarrassing acts of servitude for senior masters for a day. It's not clear if Hobbs participated herself in the auctions, so literally invoking slave auctions, I guess. But her 1987 student council page credits her and other student leaders for having coordinated the many class events during Spirit Week when Slave Day appears to have been celebrated. So we have another blackface moment, this time involving Katie Hobbs. Why do I get the feeling that the legacy media is not really going to look into this very much? It'll be sort of like Ralph Northam. Remember, he was in blackface for one of his Halloween shoots there in college. Trudeau has worn blackface, I think, several times, actually. This happens quite frequently among people who claim to be liberal or left-leaning, corroborating what I've said for years, which is in my own interactions with people, and they've been profuse on the political end, people who have right-wing views, they don't tend to do this stuff. They'll be very open. If they're a bigot, they're the person that has the coal-rolling fucking semi-truck with the Confederate flag bumper sticker and shit like that. They're very open about it. When you get a club atmosphere or an inner circle of friends atmosphere, and then you get people a couple of drinks or some weed or something, then the real bigotry comes out, and that tends to be a left-wing thing. They're more hush-hush about it. The 1987 yearbook mentions Slave Day 4 times. So at the very least, I'm assuming she participated in it.
Yeah, it's just another one of those deals where, if the other party did this, they would be raising all kinds of hell. But they're not going to about her. And of course this lady Hobbs, she won't. I mean, I think as far as I know, it's still like this, like she not wanting to debate Lake, her opponent. And why not? What are you afraid of? It's because she knows she would be utterly goddamn destroyed. So hopefully that's a politician that goes the hell away. You know, as Stick said, yeah, it's not that I, you know, am going to take a strong stance on condemning the whole practice that they were having back in the day, because, you know, back in the day we were not PC about shit, but it's about the hypocrisy. Daily Dan's here. He's laughing his ass off. He says, "Oh my God." Another Ralph Northam says, Tracy Bennett. Flyby Stew's here. Welcome, Flyby Stew. Cowboy says it's okay when the libs do it. Just look at Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, that freaking moron. Jimmy Kimmel, you are a complete moron. Yeah. Tracy Bennett says the Confederate flag is not about slavery. Thomas Sowell and Larry Elder discussed the Confederate flag. Yeah, that was one thing that kind of I keyed in on that too, and what Sticks was saying there. But I wouldn't read too much into it. You know, I'm sure he's not going to die on that hill. You know, because Confederate flag, yeah, it's not about slavery. Uncle Bones is here. Welcome, man. Welcome to the chat. Uncle Bones says, Squashing Cowboy, great video this morning. Dan says, yeah, you should hate everybody equally. Yeah, I'm trying. I am trying. So another thing on the thumbnail you saw, I had Adam Sessler with Frosk, you know, standing in front of him. We talked about Frosk before. Well, G4 is like done. It's toast. They, you know, fired everybody else. A lot of people didn't even know. They found it through like social media and stuff. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, you hear about this happening sometimes where someone finds out that they are fired through social media instead of their boss, like, properly and officially informing them that they're fired. And apparently that happened with all these G4 employees. Of course, everybody knew it was coming, you know, or at least everyone out here. Maybe some of those employees thought that, oh, G4 was actually going to pull through. I mean, actually, G4 was doomed from the very beginning. Let's just be real. Its time was over, and they were in denial. You know, trying to reinvigorate it, and it wasn't going to happen. I don't know what they were thinking. That'd be like someone trying to reopen Blockbusters now. You know, Blockbuster, that kind of business is done. It's over, and pretty soon, I think, like even like Redbox, Redbox is going to just be gone because, you know, people can just watch everything online. You know, so it's just, there comes a time where something is outdated, you know, it just is. And some people just can't let go. That's why there's a vinyl section down at Walmart where you can buy old records. Some people just can't let go, which is fine. It's their business. But, you know, G4 was just a dumb idea to try and.
One of the people that's most responsible, along with Frost, for this is Adam Susser. Remember back in February, where Adam Susser was going after anybody and everybody who said they voted differently than him. He says Republicans can drink piss and eat shit. If I have a Republican family member, I hope they die. Things like that. That's what Adam Susser was saying to his audience at that time. Well, now he's just continuing that today. Real quick, this is him taking a shot at G4. Big shout out tonight to those that run G4 for making my life more miserable than usual when I barely have been working for them in the first place. In for a penny, in for a pounding for your bullshit. But then when you look at this guy's timeline, check this out. It's just an hour ago. Look at all of these tweets, all the responses to the audience, to the fans, all this stuff. Like Adam Sessler has gone insane on Twitter. I want to go through some of these and show you the meltdown that he's having. Someone responds, go woke, go broke. Because anytime someone responds, he gets triggered. He freaks the fuck out. Do you live in Mississippi? Faulkner's my idol. But you think you're unique in this moment, but you really eat the same slop at the same trough. Go fuck a relation. Do you have a YouTube or Twitch channel? Nah, I'm old and comfortable. That's pretty much it. For now, I'm not interested. Was it worse than last time referring to being fired by G4? No, just stupider. And then we come to the your mom jokes. Now, there was a slew of your mom jokes, which he just doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on. Why would anyone hire people like this? Now, to his credit, he's not employed by G4 TV anymore, so he's not officially representing them. So I guess he can say whatever he wants. But the problem is, even when he is hired by a company, this is exactly the same shit he does each and every day. Your mom said I wasn't obscure. Are you all from West Virginia or something and think you have to abide by what the boss tells you to get his currency? No, your mom just shared it with me. You little bitch, all I got is people. I'm ready to turn the cap around my head. Let me know where you are. So this is the time where he starts talking about fight me in real life. I actually came up when shit was hard. Plus, you fucks like you just hide and yell. I have a feeling to bust your ass, but you're in Panama City, which is punishment enough. Truly the most disgusting place I've ever been. First time I heard the word dark as a code for black people. I thought they had an electricity problem at first. Interesting enough, because I think Sessler's living in the Bay Area right now, San Francisco, where you can't walk 3 feet without stepping on shit or needles or both. But for somebody that has drug problems like Adam Sessler, because again, one of the reasons he was fired in the first place from G4 back in the day was because he was addicted to drugs, I can see why maybe a place like San Francisco would be very, very appealing to you. More of your mom jokes. Ask your mom. She's pretty proud of something. Grown man resorting to your mom claps. This is how grown adults cope. I mean, I could consider funding a House candidate in your district that cuts off all federal funding, so you have to whore your daughters off to make ends meet while I drive by laughing. Or I could make fun of your mom. Your mom's got thin skin. Do you fuckwits have one writer who only knows one rhyme? Also, like a real adult, unlike your mom, I have multiple incomes. Go fuck a sheep again, you desperate Nazi. This is Adam Sessler. This is the behavior that he's been exhibiting for the past year while he's been working at G4. He goes off on these tantrums. Now, I do understand he's got personal life problems, not only his drug addiction, as I've mentioned multiple times, and will continue to mention, Adam Sessler is a drug addict, but also there is some real life stuff going on. I think he's got some family health problems, and that does suck. That's awful. A lot of people have stuff going on in their personal lives that maybe you don't make that
Well, hopefully a lot of those messages and tweets, I mean, show you kind of, what kind of guy you're dealing with. Why, he's part of the reason why G4 was double doomed. It was already doomed without him and without Froskuren, but they just sped up the process, and they can't admit it. They can't admit that they helped kill G4 faster. Now, Froskuren's also out there, making her commentary as well. So, but we've already seen enough about Froskuren, haven't we? This guy, I've showed you stuff from his channel before. This is Ryan Kennel, RK Outpost. So, as you can see, he's tends to hit on movies, TV shows, that kind of stuff a lot. So, yep. Boom. I was having a hard time keeping up with chat there for a second, but it was mostly highs and hellos. It's a slow crawl, Mr. Lee. It's a slow crawl. Now, the other channel, I got a bunch of them pretty quick the other day, but it's weird how this whole algorithm thing works. YouTube, and YouTube don't want me to get a monetized channel. They're trying to smother me slowly but surely. They really are. But still, crawling up a little bit at a time, getting some views. I'll just keep posting shorts over there because shorts is what's performing. And, I wish it would work faster because I seriously need the income now. But it's going to take a while. YouTube will not cooperate, and they definitely got me algorithmed all to hell. And so whatever, man. Whatever. I'll just keep on keeping on. So Hodge twins. Tracy Bindle likes the Hodge twins. Nikki's here. She says, "Hey, you were the one that stole my 2 subs. We can share them. We can share the subs. You subs can go over to Nikki's and make sure your subs. Did you lose 2? Because that's another thing. YouTube shaves them off. I see it happening. It shaves them off all the time. And then every so often someone tells me, say, hey, I got unsubbed. How the hell did I get unsubbed? I'm like, I don't know. It's just YouTube. YouTube does it. Like if you've pissed off YouTube, they can deny it all they want, but they will start unsubbing you. They'll make sure you don't pop up on the home page. Son of a bitch, it's a pain in the ass. Cowboy says, please don't post your shorts. Not those shorts. Lowrider says they hate you because you eat meat, Lockbeard. Yeah, they do. They do. They got an agenda to push. They want to destroy all meat eating in the world. They want everybody to eat soybeans and eventually Soylent Green. They want you to eat people. Yeah, she lost them. Yeah, YouTube probably unsubbed a couple of people for some reason. So, Squash Cowboy says, hell, I'll lose at least one a day. Gary says, Lockbeard, good evening, Mr. Leaf. Hey, I got you on that one. And Nikki says, but some people thought I was picking on Damien. No, you were being very nice to Damien. I was trying like hell to, because I don't believe him for a goddamn second. Okay, look, how are you going to stand there and take a picture or something like that and not walk up to it? So, he can give me whatever skill. I was afraid or whatever. What do you mean you're afraid? You're standing there in the middle of the woods anyway. If that thing wants to take you down, it's going to take you down. So when someone sends a picture like that and it acts like they really believe that's a Bigfoot, and they didn't walk up to the whatever they were taking a picture of to see that it was nothing more than a fallen tree or a tree stump or whatever, that person is either got a mental problem or they're goddamn lying. So I don't know which one Damien is. But don't take pictures of shit if you're not going to walk up to it and actually see what it is. You might as well walk up to it first. So yeah, you were being nice to him. You were, he sent you pictures. You were supposed to critique, and of course, he wasn't accepting y'all's critique. So whatever. Damien, Damien, if you're out there, don't even bother coming up here looking for a critique. I'm going to call bullshit on you, son. That you took pictures of something, you didn't walk up to it to see that it wasn't a Bigfoot. You're trying to pass off some bullshit. So you either got a mental issue or you're just trying to lie to people. I don't know which. But Uncle Bone says, Mr. Lee, I have half as many subs as Locke, and I do not have content. Yeah, Uncle Bones just gets subs just from his presence in the universe. B-Lane says, Lockbeard, I like your short videos. Good to get your channel seen. Yeah, I mean, it's to me, look, they're so short and they're just, it's like, God, this is, but people really want to sit there and watch shorts. It's crazy. To me, if I'm going to start a video, I want some meat to it, like if it only lasts 30 seconds, I'm like, well, shit. Is that all? But that's what some people like, and apparently that's what's driving a lot of these channels where they can actually grow pretty fast sometimes. But it's got to hit the short shelf. It's gotta be what people are looking for. So you gotta fiddle around, try and figure out, well, what kind of title are people going for, what kind of subject matter are people going for, and it's hard to figure that out. I don't have any clue. Apparently people like kittens. That magic video, that one, the magic trick, but I'm probably gonna have to take that down. I probably overextended any fair use on that one, so I think I have to take it down. But unless I alter it somehow. The camel one people liked. The people liked the camel that didn't like to be touched. So I don't know. Nikki says he sent the pics to me and we had a discussion before the show. Yeah. Them kind of shorts are bad. Soy is, you know what you know what you could do for your channel is, because look, apparently there's a whole massive crowd of people out there that only want to watch these really, really short videos. So if you were to take like clips from your Wild West video stuff, maybe make some shortened clips. Like I took, of course, Zasky's video was easy to clip down because it's only about 2 minutes long. So I just chopped it up using Canva, because Canva makes it pretty easy to do that. So that's what I used for that, and get it so I could get it down under 60 seconds, and then it becomes and then put hashtag shorts on there, and then either in the description or in the title. I think you don't even have to put it on there, but they used to say you did. And then just throw that out there and see what happens. Just throw, every so often, make a short out of one of your other videos, or out of an important point or something. And who knows, it might get some viewers. One thing I noticed is my biggest geographic viewership of those shorts is India. Like, it's way bigger than the United States. India. I don't know why. I mean, they got a lot more people than we do. I know that. China's probably not on there because they're just not allowed. I'm sure I'm banned in China. Teresa says soy is very unhealthy. I don't eat anything with soy. That's good to hear right there. Yeah, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. Tracy Bennett says, I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He was trolling. Yeah, very possibly trolling. So, I don't know. It's just these people, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I know many of you are sick of it. Like, we're sick of the bullshit, the trolling, the straight up liars, and then even the people that have lost their goddamn minds. Look, we need to determine that they're nuts, and then just repel them. Say, look, if you want to be nuts, just go over to a nutsoid channel, like, I don't know, Vault of Nonsense. I think he'll take all nutters. He likes all the nut. Donald says, the Nikki, I've talked to him in comments. He really thinks there is something to them. I think he has some issues going on. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate that we can't get those people some psychological help, but, you know, I ain't got time for all that. You know, I just need to drive them off because they're not in this for the same reason that I am, and that's to actually find the truth. Donald says Donald says Zasky tried to use an excuse of not walking up to them with Brent, but if you watch the lies with him and Carrie, he was always taking off after the tree snaps in the night. Yeah, he's so full of shit. Uncle Bon says, Lockbeard, I have 136 subs and I don't know why. Just your presence in chat, man. You know, your presence in chat. Mr. Lee says, Uncle Bones, I'm one of your subs. Gary says, before I ever knew about Bigfoot, insane spot, I seen something black. I got kind of spooked and left. So it turns out it was him disguising himself as a stump. That's case in point, folks. Case in point. Cowboy says, I did that. They didn't do very well. And I use Canva all the time on my videos. Yeah. So you didn't get a short video under 60 seconds that did well? They still might bring some new viewers in, though. They should help in some way, one way or another, but it's just funny, like, you know, like a couple of those well, when I first posted the very first ones, like they spiked. The views just went nuts for a little bit, so they must have landed on that suggestions, you know, section for shorts. And like that one video got 36,000 views in an hour. And so it just went up and then it just kind of leveled off and stayed there. So the YouTube clearly stopped promoting the video or stopped suggesting it to the people, like in a big way. Something very big changed. And then there was another video that had the same graph, different numbers, but you know, a little bit less views, but same thing. Ass load of views within the first hour, and then it leveled right off. Yeah, free. There's some ways where it's easier to edit video for me using that than iMovie, which I use sometimes for other stuff. But sometimes I go back. Sometimes there's been times where I had a video or pieces of video, you know, in Canva and then over in iMovie, and then combined everything all funky because they work differently. I don't know what it is about iMovie. iMovie is a pain in the ass in some ways. You know, it's like, what did I click again? Like, you know, because I don't want to use it. Like, iMovie people, if you're out there, what the fuck? Why is this thing not very obvious? Like, what I click to make certain things happening, and I don't know. It's just difficult. Jen's here. Welcome to the chat. Mr. Lee missed everything. Yeah. Yep, he did. Well, he missed a lot. Jen's got 3 subs. What in the hell? Why has Jen only got 3 subs? Somebody explain that shit. Nikki says Zasky is a flat-out criminal and everyone will find out soon enough. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that on Saturday. I figure one of y'all that want to get into that can get into that, because I'm not getting into that. I'm just getting into what I actually know. what I actually saw, what I think about it, and then try to get out of this overheating up in here. And then let the chat be seen, you know. Let they say what they want to say, put it up on screen. And yeah. So, but yeah, the criminal stuff, you know, I know there's a couple of y'all's out there that are kind of regularly getting into people's criminal record. Hopefully, you haven't looked into mine. But especially Mr. Lee's. He's associated with Tom Cruise. He's into some bad stuff, I'm sure. Channel name, we can boost it up a bit. It's probably. I mean, it should be Jen. Should be Jen with a sunflower. Right, Hall's winter prediction video. Sleepy tonight. He is evil and heartless, says Tracy Benna. Mr. Hughes here, welcome. Jen says, Angel, my name. I don't use it for anything, so not an issue. Angel says, Mr. Lee, do you ever sleep? I'm trying to stay awake at the end of my Moog shows. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be running over Moog's show by at least an hour. So, again, like I said at the beginning, I understand if you guys are going to jump over there. But I'm going to be going another hour. So, not watched the newest one yet, Donald. Nikki says, yes, iMovie as fuck. Yeah, like I'm like, how do I do this and that? Sometimes it's the best thing to do what I'm doing because Canva won't do certain shit. But then there's some things it's easier to do in Canva, which is fucked up. But you can't do large videos in Canva, or Canva will tell you to go fuck yourself. So that's where you have to go back to iMovie, or I don't know, figure out something else. But 2-hour sessions. Icons here, welcome. Man, I'm getting chat is just flying. This looks like a bunch of highs and hellos and stuff. We got some Mark Dodman up in here. Welcome. Hopefully I don't skip anything important. Donald says I want to see if Vault and his cryptid hoochie mama backs ASCII. I might have a slightest bit of interest in that, but man, I do not want to go back over his channel ever again. I feel like I lose brain cells every time I do. Tom Cruise, welcome. Tom Cruise, you corrupt Scientologist, you. 4. It was shocking to see him call in, and it was like he went off the deep end. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it just shouldn't have happened. Just shouldn't have happened. Jen says, "Oh, thank you, Bones." Troy's here. She says, "Staying." Awesome. Cowboy says, "No, I didn't, but sure, we'll go take a look." Got a whole lot of likes, Sanders, says Cowboy. Sanders here, welcome. Gonna look up for a rail service. What the hell? Rail service. Teresa Roth says, hello, what are we jumping off to watch what? A lot of these people like to watch a show called WTF Live on the Mogollon Monster Show. It's Mogollon spelled. It's the way it's spelled. It looks like Mogollon, Mogollon, but it's pronounced Mogollon. It's Mogollon Monster. His name is Russell, and a lot of these people that are here right now like to go watch his show, which is on at 8:00 my time, which is in about 8 minutes. I'm still going for another hour. I don't normally run over on his show, but anyway, tonight got caught at cattywampus. I was planning on starting earlier, and Pat did that impromptu, and people just loaded up in there. Like, he topped off at 100 people watching, because everyone's fucking pissed off right now at Zasky. And so I just thought, well, yeah, I ain't gonna start in the middle of this. And so anyway, so I totally understand anybody wants to go over there. Teresa, a lot of these people love Mogiel Monster. He's cool. You should check him out. So, and I don't blame you if you leave here. I don't expect it. You don't have to choose. Like, I'm just over here bitching. All right. Going to talk about what else I got for tonight. Bart K. Yeah, he eviscerated another vegan. Well, he's been on with this guy several times, so he won't leave me. Well, it's just a live stream. I get it. It's the Tom. Is Tom Cruise Hiveless B? Oh no! Tell me it isn't so. Teresa says, I thought it was just me that you said you can't go back to Vault's show. It's all kinds of laughing and nothing else. Yeah, Vault's just goddamn idiot, man. Uncle Bone says, everyone in chat spread this far and wide. What is that? Hey, Mogs is here. Hey, he says, I'm all ears. Awesome, Mogs. Thanks for dropping Ben. I try to tell people to go watch Mogs. You can stay here if you want, or you can go over there. It don't matter to me. I understand. A lot of you people been, because Mogs show. I don't know when you started. He started. His show started before mine, so he's got viewers here that go back before me. So times are Mogs on our time. On Mr. Lee's time. Fly by Stu, you're the same times as Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee's 6 hours ahead of us, so that, I guess that means you are too. So that's 2 a.m. your time, I believe. There's Mr. Lee's got the link. Mogs is like, Hugh is, what the fuck? 8 minutes. To be hashtag feeling on the bright side, but I know who heart is true. Everything enjoying it here. Teresa Ross Lockbeard does a good show. Well, I try. Raptor says, Roth, it is a good to venture out on the other channels to find what you like. Most people have treated me better, not because I've been blocked from everything, so test the waters. I think I butchered that or something. Tom Cruise, knucklehead, says Mr. Lee. Donald's just going to watch both. Is it? Oh, okay. Thank you, man. Thanks for posting it. 3PO full report. Captain Knucklehead. Scotch Cowboy, you make me laugh out loud. Mr. Lee says, Troy, yes, Lockbeard will do a show on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday we'll spend the whole 2 hours on Zasky if you guys want to. Hold on a second. Let me pull up this other video here. Bart K. He's had several sessions with this guy who is trying to argue science with Bart K. And he just can't, as far as diet. This guy just just doesn't understand that he is completely on the wrong page when it comes to dietary advice. So this video here is over on the Bart K channel. This is Professor Bart K. The title of this video is "Does LDLC Cause Heart Disease?" Absolutely the fuck not. It's bullshit. Your doctor starts talking to you about LDLs, you need to just walk the fuck out because your doctor does not know what the fuck he's talking about. And of course, you're looking at me like, how do you know? How I know you? This just go down the rabbit hole. You're going to have to educate yourself about this shit and find out why the doctors are wrong. You can try watching Bart K's channel a lot, and you might eventually pick up some bits of it there. I don't recall seeing anything. I'm sure it's probably there somewhere, very specific. You kind of got to go down the rabbit hole, and it's hard to, it's hard to know, what video I would point you at for sure. He might talk about it a little bit in this one. I don't recall, but Kevin Bass here keeps trying to argue with Bart K, and he just doesn't get it. He does not understand what actual proof is, what actual scientific research is. He doesn't understand that there's no human studies because of the type that he's trying to claim there are, because it's unethical. It's not allowed. You can't lock people up for decades in a room and watch every move they make and make sure they don't eat anything but specifically what you're studying the effects of. All the shit that they tell you in the news and so-called science out there, it's epidemiological bullshit. It's basically they gave someone a questionnaire. What have you been eating for the last 20 years? Who the fuck is going to, one, remember anything accurately, and two, how many of them are going to kind of lie? Oh, well, I've been eating pretty healthy. I eat broccoli every day. No, that's not science. It's complete bullshit. And they try to pass it off as science. And so Bart K's here eviscerating this guy as he deserves.
Let me start asking you some questions, because these are very, very important questions. Would you like to read the 2 words in red text at the top right hand of the page here?
Yeah, so it's categorized as current opinion.
Right. Okay. So the important word there is opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, but what does that mean? Why did they categorize it as current opinion?
They called it opinion, Kevin, because the evidence required for their claim is absent. Therefore, they couldn't say fact. Therefore, they couldn't say irrefutable fact. Therefore, they couldn't say, here is the evidence. What they have presented here is an inference which they have molded to suit their ideological needs and their financial needs, haven't they?
Well, let me ask you a question then. If they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes by presenting this to us, then why did they publish it as a current opinion? Why didn't they just say current fact to pull the wool over our eyes?
Because nobody would have published it had they said this is evidence for a fact, because it isn't. It does not meet the scientific criteria for cause and effect. What they have done is they have made up a bunch of criteria, which they've numbered 1 through 8 themselves, and said, yes, we have met all of our own criteria to bolster our, what's this word here again, by the way, Kevin? Opinion on this matter, not fact. You can't make up your own scientific discipline. You can't decide for yourself what is the criteria for cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Very important, very important. They try to claim that this causes that, and they don't actually prove it. But the way they present it, they try to make it seem like they did. And most people aren't scientists out there, right? So they just kind of got to take these people's words. They read a goddamn magazine, and they're like, well, this sounds good. This sounds legit. I've always been told that this is good for me and that's bad for me. And most of it's completely bullshit. So one thing I'm going to tell you right here and you're almost all going to be like, "No, this is bullshit." Is broccoli is not healthy for you. It's not. It's toxic. When you eat it, you'll survive it, but it doesn't mean it's good for you just because you don't experience an immediate bad effect, or you fail to notice the effects because the effects are so subtle. I don't know if we necessarily want to try and go into, why, broccoli is bad for you, why spinach is bad for you, why these things are not superfoods, that you've been lied to about this stuff, and why one of the very top most healthy things on the planet that you can eat is a fatty ribeye steak. It just is. And we can prove this all day long pretty much. It's hard to, because again of that little scientific roadblock but there's a lot of things that show this and indicate it and prove it well beyond any of the bullshit a vegan can show you, because a vegan can't show you anything. They just make claim after claim, and none of it has any basis in any kind of reality. Raptor says milk's on 4 minutes, sometimes 5. Yep. Meme Sander. Copy that, says Troy. How'd you do that, Joe? Says Mark. Initially, let's see, posted the link to Mogs. Yeah, everybody who wants to go over there, looks like he's already started by the time I'm reading this. Definitely support you watching what you choose to watch. That's what's most important. And I don't blame you a second if you gotta check out. So, but I'll see you next time. Troy says butter. Yes, butter is healthy for you. Lowrider says, please don't eat Chinese waste products thinking you're helping the planet. Oh yeah, seriously. The best way to help planet is to eat what you're designed to eat in the ecosystem, right? If you're someone that wants to help the planet, well, so you need to eat meat. Like if these people were thinking, well, if you could just get them to believe that humans are carnivores, because we are. We're definitely, we're not just carnivores, we're hyper carnivores. We're supposed to eat a lot of meat. And so if you could get them to just even consider that, and then actually see the evidence for it, and then believe it, and then ask them, now what would happen if, say, all the lions on the planet turned into vegans and they stopped eating animals? You might think, oh, they're also going to stop killing all the antelope and the water buffalo and the zebras. They're going to stop killing all this stuff, and that's going to be wonderful. No, that's going to be a horrendous catastrophe. Major overpopulation of all those animals. The weakest of them will not be taken out like they normally are, which keeps them genetically stronger and continuously improving. Both species always fight, improving the other. That's how natural selection works. And if you don't have that happening anymore, you will have some major problems, and probably some large scale extinctions could occur if it gets too bad. So, if those animals get overpopulated, then some disease will come through and say, holy gosh, look at all these animals, are all having a lot of contact with each other because they're thickly populated. That's a problem when you're looking at something like chronic wasting disease in deer. You got high deer density, then there's a high incidence of contact between deer, and that means there's a higher amount of transmission of disease, and then so a disease can spread much more easily. So now you end up, okay, yeah, the lion stopped killing the antelope, but now there's millions of dead antelope who died of disease laying across the fucking Serengeti. Yippee, vegans, you're fucking brilliant. Mark on Meme Maker. Parky. What? Thank you, Mr. Lee. Going to watch Mogs. Gary says, sees y'all Gators going to Mogs. See ya later. Fly by Stu says, in a bit, Lockbeard in chat. Icon says, Cowboy Mansfield is on the former SP line that ran from Fort Worth to Ennis. It's marked as freight only as of February 1952. Almost looks like a freight bypass route around Dallas. Ruthel says, oh, Icon, you really are a man of facts. I don't get out much, mate, says Icon. Ruthel says, Icon, as my mom used to say, don't you go to changing. Who is this Kiwi dude? Who is that? That's Professor Bart K, man. Bones. Further than a gas station. I like to go on a vacation further than the gas station. Cowboy says spinach is bad for you. Just look at how Popeye looked. Oh, what was that? One of those. I think it was Family Guy, where there was a Family Guy. I think it was Family Guy, where there was like a short segment they did with Popeye, and he's at the doctor, and the doctor's like, I don't know how you thought that's how arms are supposed to look. You got cancer in both your arms, and yeah. Not crazy in general means home is safe. Lowrider says Mogs is on now. Teresa says, agree with you about the lies they're feeding. Slow fat diets are so unhealthy. Yeah. Yeah. Eat the fat. The fat is very good for your health. Crazy is increasing everywhere here. Crazy is also mental I should say just mental illness in general is caused by these diets that people are eating. Like a low fat diet could literally cause you to go fucking nuts in some cases. You push it too far, you can go nuts. Tumors in his forearms. Yeah, makes your forearms swell up. See you later, Lowrider. Thanks for dropping in. Ruth says I eat food. If I want fruit, I'll have it. Same with the salad. I do prefer dead animal, though. Dead animal is the only thing you actually need to function as a human being perfectly and healthy. Icon says, oh, hey, Achaeos, I was going to send you a link to a channel you should get a kick out of. Be right back.
The scientific method did that more than 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
What's missing? I tell you what is missing from this list of 8 so-called criteria here?
Yeah. What's missing?
Okay, I'll tell you what's missing there.
After you tell us what's missing, I want to tell you what I think is most compelling to me.
Okay, I'll tell you what's missing from this. And it undercuts number 1, actually, plausibility. Here's what it is. Nowhere on that list of 8 criteria does it say control of confounds. Control of invalidating, confounding covariates, collinearities, and other problems, which absolutely undercut the ability of this paper to establish cause and effect, which is the claim made in the title.
Right.
Cause. The word here is cause.
Yeah.
And the evidence for cause is not presented in this paper because it does not exist.
Okay.
Really, we're done,
Cool.
Kevin. We don't need more than that. We are finished. And so is this paper finished. And if that doesn't do it, I've still got plenty more, and you know, as many hours as it takes. This paper does not establish cause and effect or anywhere close to it. This paper is an absolute joke. It's destitute of scientific discipline, veracity, correctness, or utility.
I think it's going to take us a lot of hours, because I have a reply to what you said, and I think we're gonna have to slog this out for a while. I fully expect this, assuming that one of us doesn't become frustrated and refuse to continue, which I think definitely could happen. But it's not going to be me that's going to refuse to continue, because I am absolutely unassailable here, Kevin. I am absolutely unassailable, and you will not prevail here as long as it takes. So you said.
So as you can see, this goes on for a while. This guy's just beating this dead horse. He will not believe what Bart's trying to tell him, is that this paper doesn't prove shit. It proves just nothing. Donald says, Lockbeard, I deemed you a video about Skinwalker. Yeah, I saw that. Tick has always been a bunch of shenanigans there. Yeah, I don't even, it's hard to know for sure exactly what happened there. Globe Asunder, welcome. That's a new name. Says, is this a Bigfoot forum? Yeah, a lot of times we do talk Bigfoot. On the Random Lives, we'll talk about all kinds of subjects. Some of it might be paranormal, but some of it might be politics, current events, health, science, all kinds of stuff. On Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time is when we specifically, stick to the paranormal subject then. But very often Bigfoot comes up here because a lot of these people are crossing over from the other show, the other live stream. So where are you coming from? Rithel says, nah, mate, this is YouTube. No moon battery. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a fair warning. Like, I'm a person who's about actually using science to try and prove that these paranormal matters exist. I'm not just going to believe anyone's ridiculous claims. Some people I do think that they are being truthful, and because they, just my best assessment of them, but also their story doesn't contain any nut jobs, any nuttery. If you come and tell me that you saw, a white deer in the woods, well, that's pretty believable. Sometimes white deer have actually been observed. If you come and tell me you saw Pegasus fly off, that's a really ridiculous claim. And so I'm not just going to believe that. And in fact, I'm going to think that that is such a ridiculous claim. It's so far out of what normal animals we have. It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense functionally, right? So you're either lying or you're very gullible and you mistakenly thought you saw something like that, or you might be crazy. You might be absolutely nuts. So so when we talk about like Bigfoot, you're mentioning Bigfoot here. You could if you're the kind of person who, when you heard Dr. Matt Johnson talk about how he learned how to operate the portal to help save the last of the alien Sasquatch species from their planet, who somehow couldn't operate the portal themselves to get the last of their people home. And yet Dr. Matt Johnson somehow was involved with operating the portal to bring the rest of them to Earth. that's some nuttery right there. That's some insanity. That's a ridiculously stupid claim. I'm not going to believe it for a second. And now, the dude might be nuts. Seems like there was some kind of issue with his brain. But if there wasn't an issue with his brain, then he would clearly be lying or horribly mistaken. On the other side, you have someone like Joe Satch over at Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group channel, who basically just saw a big hairy dude in the woods that appeared to be trying to sneak up on a deer. That's what he thinks was the situation, because he spooked up a deer, and then this Bigfoot was there, and it didn't seem happy. There was no portals involved. There was no telepathic communication. There was no cloaking like the Predator. There was none of this goofballery bullshit that we haven't seen happening in any other kind of creature on the planet. Like it's funny how these people you gotta like prove portals are a real thing. Forget Bigfoot. Bigfoot's this whole separate issue here. Portals, do they exist? Can you prove portals exist? Nobody's really done that. Can you prove something can cloak like the Predator? Nobody's done that. The animals can camouflage themselves. They can change the color sometimes to camouflage themselves, but that's not the cloaking these people are talking about. They're talking about some pretty damn magical bullshit. Even that military tech can't even achieve that kind of shit. Telepathic communication, which you can tell what kind of mental level we're working at, because most of these people, are they've spread this word mind speak, and I'm trying to not to use it because everybody uses it, so it's easy for you to repeat it. It's called telepathy, motherfuckers. The only thing I can guess is these people did not know the word telepathy or telepathic communication. Like, it must be too many syllables for them. So these morons who came up with the term mind speak, this person is probably not very bright. They're probably a goddamn moron. They probably didn't know the word telepathy. But that's what they're talking about when they say mind speak. Well, this is something we call telepathic communication, which hasn't been proven to be a real thing. I'm open to the possibility of it. I think that the science actually kind of allows for that to be a possibility, but I've seen no actual evidence that telepathic communication is possible. So we lean away from that kind of shit here, and we lean towards stories that are believable, that are plausible. You saw a big hairy guy in the woods. Jay is another one. There's no craziness in his story. He simply saw a really big hairy fella in the woods who was chasing some hogs. And that's it. Totally believable. There's no reason to think that there can't be a larger type of human running around the woods. There's just no reason to think that's not possible. There's a strong possibility we have African lions running around right here in Oklahoma. Because people have accidentally released them. There's some talk out there that there might be some large cats running around because they got released from what was that nut job on TV? I remember Carol Baskins, Tiger King. Tiger King. I didn't actually watch the show. It looked dumb as fuck, and I had no interest in watching something that looked that dumb as fuck. But some people have suggested that some of his cats are running around out there. And actually, the guys over what channel? I forget the name of that channel. They actually come up with some trail cam footage of a fucking African lion in Oklahoma. So yeah, shit, not good, not good. Yeah, no moon battery. You deal with what can be established. Yeah, what can be established. Teresa says nuttery. Plenty of that around these days. Yeah. Yeah, we're sick of that here, and that's, of course, there's so many people, that's what they want. They want to hear the story about, they want their beliefs to be validated. They want to believe in the magical stuff, and unfortunately, I have to take away some of the magic, and tell people, come back down to earth a little bit here. You don't have to come all the way down, because when I start talking about, the shit like field theory, and instead of quantum physics, throw quantum physics out the window because it's bullshit, and get people to start trying to get some people introduced to field theory who haven't heard of it yet and don't understand. And of course, it's probably a losing battle, because none of these people gave a fuck about quantum physics either. But you've been told certain things about how the universe functions that's just not correct, and is not backed by experimental data. It's a misinterpretation, what you were told. It's a misinterpretation of perfectly correct observations, but there's misinterpretations of it, and they present it to the public. And so, then it ends up in science fiction. So now, people see space-time, the fabric of space-time, in fucking sci-fi, and then they see some scientists talking about it in documentaries, and it's completely unproven goddamn concept. And not only is it unproven, it's absolutely ridiculous to even suppose. It's a ridiculous hypothesis. You're going to tell me that two goddamn things that do not exist, they're not a thing, and you're going to somehow squish them together and say it's a fucking thing? It's absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't stop there. It goes on and on and on. And then you look at Einstein, and how Einstein's a goddamn, he's a moron and a plagiarist. The only thing he was good at is stealing shit, and he didn't even steal good shit. He didn't even steal good shit. The scientific ideas he stole were fucking wrong. So, but if I can pull people away from that and get them to actually look at what, may actually be the real science of how the universe functions, suddenly ghost is not out of the question, right? Ghost is not out of the question. In fact, ghosts are almost a certainty. Some level of telepathic communication is not out of the question. It's probably almost a certainty. So, we got room to bring the magic in through the scientific approach. It's just weird science that people haven't been exposed to. I think the government don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that water contains the ability to store memory, and is an actual antenna. The water molecule is actually an antenna. It picks up signals. It picks up frequency. It picks up consciousness itself. So what's consciousness, right? It's a frequency. It's a signal. That's all. If you think of it like that, it's like, oh, damn, this isn't as complicated as I thought. But you have scientists who want you to believe that your consciousness originates from inside your brain, instead of recognizing that your brain is really a radio. The water is the antenna, the brain is a radio, and you get dialed in to certain frequencies, and there you are. Now, you can call that consciousness. You can call it soul or spirit or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But at the end of the day, you're just a bunch of goddamn frequencies. Your physical body's tuned into it. That's why, you know, you have cases where people have believe, you know, they seem to, it seems like they legitimately were reincarnated. Well, because your signal is always out there. There's no reason another body cannot pick up that signal. No reason at all. Alien portals for Sasquatch. Yeah. I almost don't want to, you know, go after that guy because I think he may legitimately, like, I can't remember what it was, something like some brain damage or something, but still, man, it has to be talked about because people were believing that. Uncle Bone says, globe asunder, do you believe the earth is flat? Yeah, I was kind of thinking we might have a full flat earther myself. How the hell we can get those these days? It's just ridiculous. Icon says, done deal, Achaeos. Or Icon says, done deal, Achaeos. Enjoy the links. Thank you, Icon. With this is stepping out for a second. Uncle Bone says, Flurf as ruthless would say. Yeah. Let me see if I can find what this. See what kind of. Oh, it's going to take a minute to load up. See what kind of link Icon sent. Well, come on. It's taking forever to load. Oh, is this on the redacted channel, I assume? I'm not seeing any links. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's the one from before. Wait a minute. There we go. A little more toward the younger crowd. I don't know if I should click on this or what. Let me see here. Quick dick my dick. What in the hell? Yeah, that's not. Might watch a couple more minutes of this. I don't know.
Control of compounds, right?
Yes.
So I would say the strongest part of this table, in my opinion, the most important one of these criterions is going to be number 8. Reduction in risk with intervention.
Okay.
And we can just read the summary of the evidence that they say, and I'll tell you why that directly addresses what you just said. So it says more than 30 randomized controlled trials involving over 200,000 participants and 30,000 atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease events, evaluating therapies specifically designed to lower LDL, including statins, ezetimibe, and PCSK9 inhibitors.
Yes.
Consistently demonstrate that reducing LDL cholesterol, LDL-C, and we can talk about what we mean there, but then reducing LDL cholesterol reduces the risk of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease events proportional to the absolute reduction in LDL-C. And this is 30 randomized controlled trials. And here's why I think that this addresses your particular concern is that with a randomized controlled trial, it's not with an observational study, but with a randomized controlled trial, which is essentially an experiment done on humans. It's an experiment done on humans where they take a group of humans, they split them into two different groups randomly, if it's a good randomized controlled trial.
Which there aren't any of, Kevin.
We can talk about that. But if it is a good randomized controlled trial...
Yeah, but that's where you finish there, Kevin, because there isn't a good randomized controlled trial. They do not exist.
We can figure that out. We can talk about that and go through the
show me any study with two populations of genetically identical individuals at the outset who have had every confound controlled and who are kept under lock and key in a laboratory for multiple decades to follow this process through. There isn't one. Just saying more than 30 randomized trials. See how it says more than 30 randomized trials? See how it doesn't say randomized controlled trials? It says randomized trials. And the reason it doesn't say controlled trials, Kevin, is because those trials were not controlled. Ergo, they are unable to inform us on cause and effect. We are done. It doesn't matter how many participants, 200,000 or 2 million. It doesn't matter how many atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease events. It does not establish cause and effect because it is not a controlled trial. Not one of those 30 trials is controlled. Ergo, not one of them is capable of informing us on cause and effect, period. We're done. Secondly, on this, okay, just saying that these interventions were specifically designed to lower LDL and that they did lower LDL does not establish a cause and effect relationship between lowered LDL and any lowering in cardiovascular diseases as observed.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this guy still believes the bullshit that he's been told that the LDL numbers indicates that you're going to get sick. And so, so you can do your little studies all day long trying to say, look, this causes higher LDL. Yeah, but have you proven that high LDLs are detrimental to your health at all? And they absolutely have not. They haven't proven that. And then also there's the issue where there is no randomized controlled studies. So this guy keeps bringing it up like he's found a bunch of them. There's 30 of them here. No, they aren't. They aren't. They don't exist. But this is what the Professor K keeps trying to tell these fucks is that, and he just described the scenario. You'd have to have genetically identical people. So you basically got to get a bunch of twins and put, one of each twin in each group, each controlled group. And you got to lock them up. They can't be, you can't just sit there and send them home and say, okay, well, we'll give you a questionnaire in 6 months. You can't do that. That's not science. It's not going to prove shit. There's so many confounding factors that you don't know about. It just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. But this guy, he won't fucking listen. He keeps coming back for more. I don't. He just doesn't. He doesn't seem to understand that he can't science for shit. And it probably has to do with his vegan diet. He eats too many damn plants, and plants make it where your brain don't function right. Icon says, Quick Dick is a Canadian farmer that's sick of the current rulers. The other channel started off poking fun of vegans and went up from there. Yeah, it was, what's it called? Sky Productions Commentary. Looks like it gets into some of the bullshit out there. See if I pull that one up. Yep. Icon says both are funny as fuck. Let me see here. So this is why Twitter censored Kanye. Yeah, I guess Kanye's wanting to buy Parler and the quartering. He was talking about this, and I totally think he's correct about this. Is Parler's look? They bent over backwards to stop Parler. They're not going to let Parler go forward. So if Kanye wants to get involved in in this stuff, Gab and what's the other one? The Trump's doing the I forget what it's called. Anyway, he should get involved with one of those. Probably the Trump one, I think, because I mean I think that has potential for going somewhere. You know, you got Trump behind it, which means you're going to have all of his followers behind it, and it could actually work. But I want to be oppressed when he sends in an unsolicited boob pic. Our gods say it's not scientific to assume gender. Oh shit. Sexist pronouns are okay. Are now okay. Looks like this guy's got a bunch of shorts here. You're not fat enough. Person is now a pronoun. What is a woman compilation? How thoughts make 100,000 a month off simps. Yeah, crazy shit. Do you understand gender now? Banned. YouTube keeps unbanning most degenerate YouTube channel. Yeah, watch it be a Chomo channel. Vegan cope. Date me or you're fat phobic. Nice try, lady. Vegan feminist is anti-family. I encourage vegan feminists to be anti-family. You should not have children if you're vegan or feminist, and especially if you're both. You should not have children. We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you messing up the head of some poor little kid or almost killing a kid, because every so often vegans actually kill their kids and end up in jail. And we talked about one of those not too long ago. And it may be genetic. It may be that people that choose to be vegan are just they're that stupid because of something wrong with their genetics. So we don't want to pass on that genetics. So I encourage vegan feminists to be anti-family. That's a good idea. Miley Cyrus faces vegan backlash. Dumbest beauty hacks. 5 underrated alternative face mask for C. Oh man. Okay. Let's check
What
it
do you
out.
get when you add hiking mask prices, mask shortages, and mandatory laws to wear them? Creative. Number 5, the I'm a normal member of society mask. Now this mask is creepy, and not just because it looks like something out Silent Hill, but because he went out of his way to attach garlic bulbs to it, which, in his defense, might have come from some bogus news. But still ended up looking like some weird face testicle attachment monstrosity. And speaking of stupid plants on one's face, here's an honourable mention.
My mask is good for the
planet, the animals, and my health. And once I've used it, I can chuck it in a tofu stir fry for extra benefits. Your single-use disposable mask is murder. Number 4. The women.
What do you get
when you add hiking mask price?
Women
belong in the kitchen doing housework mask.
This one just
feels like her husband attached it to her. It's unclear if it's to protect her or if we're cruelly laughing it's a form of abuse.
Number 3.
I'll die, but in about 20 years mask.
This is what happens
when you're too woke to catch corona, but not smart enough to stop smoking. However, smokers are 4 times less likely to contact the virus, apparently, so this guy might actually be on something. Number 2, period dad. This crafty lady is giving a tutorial on how to make masks out of sanitary pads. However, that wasn't good enough for period dad here. Nope, he couldn't be bothered to go through lengthy steps, so he decided to embarrass those around him instead. Imagine his poor kids. No, really, imagine this is your dad, and he's all like, alright kids, stick some pads on your faces, and let's go to the store where you'll crush.
Oh, man. I hadn't seen that one. People sticking pads to their face. That's how stupid the whole damn thing is. That's how stupid you had to be to fall for the full spectrum of the bullshit that we were told. Well, you didn't have to be that stupid. They were able to convince a lot of people who seemed otherwise pretty intelligent, but they still were able to convince them that there was a thing to be worried about. The only thing you need to be worried about was the government and the government's lies and what they were going to use these lies to do to society, to what they were going to do to society with the use of these lies. Again, here we are, 2.5 years in, and I've been asking people all along to show me any actual proof that there was a thing that happened, right? The thing that they claimed happened that fucked up the whole world and made people wear those ridiculous things on their faces and made people agree to let them put untested, unproven, and poisonous substances in their veins. Caused people to freak out on other people at the store. Caused your rights to be violated left and right. Where's the proof? Is there any proof anywhere? We talk about the multiple indications that it was an entire fraud, the whole thing. I mean, it was all fraud. It was all fraud. Kind of like that selection process that we were supposed to have for a new leader. That was all fraud. That was fraud as fuck. They manipulated that right in front of everybody. They showed us. It was like, hey, we're going to show them, and they can't. And so that that just so that, I guess, so that we know that we can't do anything to stop them from fixing the elections, because they fixed it. They did it right. You're keeping poll watchers out. You're putting, you're putting paper over the windows so that people can't watch in there and make sure that you're not cheating. That's the only reason to paper over those windows. Why would you paper over those windows? We saw the video. The whole goddamn nation saw the video. Why would you do that unless you had something to hide, unless you were trying to cheat the election? And they most certainly goddamn did. There's no way those numbers were accurate. They don't even make logical sense. There's no way that fuck got that many votes. And I'm not a Trumper. I don't like him either. But I don't like seeing elections being fixed. And that election was goddamn fixed. So whatever vote I made didn't matter. Because it was going to be a certain result anyway. It was already set. So they fake that. They fake the other thing. What else can they fake? What else can they fake? A war? Could they fake a war? Now maybe it's not fake. There's people over there really dying. Did they start it on purpose? Did they plan it and start it on purpose? You know, they got together, sat down, said, look, Russia, you're playing the bad guy. We got you all the time. That's your job. Your job is to sit over here and be scary so that we can keep our people in line. Our people will stay in line because they think they need us to protect them from you. And the reality is who they need protecting from is their own goddamn government that violates our rights left and right. But no, Russia, we want you to march in on Ukraine and start some shit. So we have an excuse to launder some money. You know, we're supplying all these weapons to Ukraine. Somebody got paid for all those weapons, right? Somebody had to make them, and they got paid. Maybe we should be asking those people, hey, do you like war? You manufacture these weapons. What connection do you have with starting this war? What connections do you have? Would you be okay with our governments all getting together and deciding that there's going to be no more war and we don't need any more weapons? We're all going to be fucking peaceful and stop shooting rockets at each other. We don't need any more drones. We don't need any more tanks. We don't need any more fighter jets. Are you guys, you going to be okay with that as a business? I mean, that's what you manufacture. You know, of course, they're going to have to try to give some kind of diplomatic response. But the reality is if you sell a particular thing, you want the need for that thing to increase. So anyone who's manufacturing weapons wants war. They may be involved with creating war in some fashion. So the entire thing can't be trusted, right? This can't be trusted. You know, the whole damn thing. You know, hopefully YouTube doesn't take this video down. They might. I don't know. I tried to be as cryptic and talking code the best I can. You know, I will always try to challenge people about the disease that we supposedly had. You know, because that was a horrendous crime. That was a horrendous domestic terrorist psychological attack conducted by our own governments. Nobody had that disease. No one's been able to provide me one piece of proof that anyone had a disease, and no one can explain why. Why did the CDC declare a pandemic when they had admitted that they had not isolated the virus? How is that possible? How can you not isolate the virus, thus proving it exists. See, that they had not proven this virus existed, that they claimed this new virus. They hadn't proven it existed. And yet they declared a pandemic. How is that goddamn possible? Well, it's not. And why is this virus so special? You can isolate other viruses. Why can't you isolate this one? What's the problem here? Why did you tell hospitals to write the C19 word on death certificates of people that were never tested for C19? Why? What? That's not scientific. That's not accurate. And how many of those went into the numbers that the media was reporting and telling people and scaring the shit out of people, stressing people out, causing psychosomatic responses that probably made some people sick right there? And you probably blame those on COVID too. You probably did. Pump up your numbers. Oh, this person got sick and died. It was from the C word. No, this person was already elderly and weak. Their immune system was down, and you scared the shit out of them. It stressed them out, and they fucking died. You killed them. They didn't die from C19. They were murdered by the media, by the government. They were telling us all these hospitals were packed, and and what happened? People went there. People went to a bunch of different hospitals all around the country, and they went and they're like, look, there's no one here. There's a tent. There's no one in the goddamn tent. They're acting like they're expecting a bunch of people, but there's no one here. We were shown videos on the news of people dead in the streets. I don't know where, somewhere overseas or somewhere. Did anyone see anyone dropping dead on the streets here? No, it didn't happen. The entire thing, and there's more. There's much more. The entire thing, there's all these indications that it was a fraud, and not one shred of actual evidence. Elon Musk, weird as that son of a bitch is, took the test 4 times, got 2 positives and 2 negatives. Now, how is that possible if that test is worth a damn? It's wrong half the time, or is it right half the time? Which is it? Well, it has to be one or the other, right? Or the damn thing, the germ that they claimed was here didn't even exist. So this test, which if you dig into what this test does, it doesn't actually test for that. It doesn't test for indicators, and these indicators could mean a lot of different things, ranging from the flu to radiation poisoning. And we're all getting exposed to a bunch of radiation from our technology, right? From our cell phones, 5G. A lot of people think that's tinfoil hat stuff. Look closer. Look closer. So what if we're looking at with the deployment of 5G, more and more areas getting 5G, and so are we going to see an uptick in illness caused by radiation poisoning from these new frequencies that people are going to be exposed to? And the telecommunications industry doesn't want people to figure that out. So we need to have an excuse for it, right? And since radiation poisoning causes some of the same indicators that might pop up as a COVID positive, well, we seem to have ourselves a potential way to write it off as this other fucking thing we made up and not the actual thing that it is. And so that everyone can't, sue the telecommunications industry for knowingly murdering possibly millions. Who knows how bad this is going to get? Teresa Roth says, I'm pretty glad I found this place. You are speaking exactly what I think about all of this BS. Just start with the mask alone. Making people do things that go against everything we know to be right. Yeah. The mask thing was done. I mean, what they did, those masks actually probably killed thousands probably killed thousands. The one is a lot of people who already have their health is already waning. They're already having breathing problems. You make them wear a mask because you got them scared they're going to get a disease that don't exist, and then they get hypoxic. They'll try and claim that no, but no, it does. It can cause hypoxia, and then you actually murdered that person. They got sick and died, and then they claimed it was the C-19 thing, and that just happened everywhere. And then the other issue those masks cause is bacterial issues. So bacterial infections could have killed a lot of people too. Because any disease you have, any disease, even there's going to be some percentage of people who will die from it. Every year, I think the number is I think it's 600,000 people every year die with the flu. That's normal. That's normal because every disease has a certain percentage, even if it's a really small percentage, there's a certain percentage of people that die from that disease. There was on the news in some places where they were talking about how it was funny how suddenly this year, 2020, we've recorded no flu deaths. All those numbers got written down as C-19. See, they lied about that too. See, this is just, again, it's one indicator after another that the entire thing was a big fraud. And so many people are having a hard time wrapping their mind around it. It's like it's too big. Like you're just conspiracy theorists and blah blah blah. It's too big. They don't want to, or they don't want to, deal with it or whatever. They just want to go on with their lives. Hell, I want to go on with my life too, but they've made it really hard. Yeah, so those things, and I fought not to wear a mask. Like there was a store, they wanted me to wear a mask, and I was like, nope, I'll go somewhere else. Some crazy bitch down at this place, I had to go because it was a job related. I had to go in there for some safety training. I'm like, don't you know that this isn't safe? And she was wanting me to use hand sanitizer. I said, don't you know that hand sanitizer isn't safe? Just before this whole C-19 thing started, people had already figured out. A lot of people had already figured out that the widespread and repeated use of hand sanitizer was actually causing people to get sick. It's not good for you. It's not good for you to constantly sterilize your freaking hands. It just isn't. And we'd figured that out. But then all of a sudden, boy, I bet, oh man, should have bought stock in Purell hand sanitizer company. They got a resurgence. It makes you wonder how many different businesses got together and said, hey, we need to concoct some kind of bullshit that will bring our sales back up. Because Purell certainly did benefit from this whole bullshit. But yeah, I'm glad you like what we're talking about here. Some people don't like some of it and have a hard time convincing them. Every so often, someone actually looks up something I said. The other night, someone actually looked up when I mentioned that Einstein was a plagiarist, and they actually looked it up. And guess what they found out? It's true. Of course, Einstein is really a plagiarist. I wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't a fact that Einstein plagiarized other people's shit. He's not the genius that everyone thinks he is. That's just one of the bullshit things that we've been told. Donald says, sorry, I've been trying to watch both. Had to put some comments in defending Nikki and Moog's chat because he has a problem with the way the BS pictures were addressed. What was wrong with it? They were being nice. I was waiting to go for the jugular on that bullshit. They were being nice. What the hell? Uncle Bone says, Donald, I cannot bring myself to go back to his show. Uncle Bone's not happy with that show over there. Teresa says sheep. Yep, there's sheep. Lots of sheep out there. Thinking the same thing. Icon says, Uncle Bones, am I missing out on ass hattery? I guess. I don't know. I mean, I thought they were being way too easy on the guy. Personally, I think they were being way too easy on Drake. With Drake, it was Drake. I mean, one thing, it's kind of a red flag for some people, and it was brought up last night on that show, or was it last night or night before? Anyway, whatever night it was brought up that this dude is claiming he is getting all these Bigfoot pictures in Ireland. Donald says he was upset that they were laughing about them. Why? Why was he upset about it? They were laughable. The pictures were definitely laughable. I mean, for starters, the guy's already starting out from bad spot. Bigfoot in Ireland is getting to be kind of a stretch. Number one. Number two, he took these pictures and he's right there. Like, walk up to the fucking thing. It's just a fallen log or a tree stump. Walk up to it. You know, these people, they take these pictures that are right there. Like you see in the picture, like this, it can't be, but they're right there. Walk up to it. You know, maybe take your initial picture, but walk closer, snap pictures as you're going, try to get a picture of this thing jumping out. If it's there, it's going to jump out. But they always try to say, "Oh, I was scared. I didn't want it to eat me." Oh, shit. Anyway, and we look at the pictures and we're like, no, we don't see a Sasquatch at all. What we see is a fallen log or some rocks or a fucking stump or some shit. Anything but a damn Sasquatch. You're claiming this is a Sasquatch. You're trying to pull some goddamn pareidolia bullshit on us. So the commentary I was making in the chat, I was worried I was gonna get Nikki pissed at me for going too hard on the motherfucker, but now she's catching shit. This is fuck. What kind of bizarro shit is this? Donald says the same reason he was upset about us questioning the Rimmer narrative. Man, I would like to be able to put the time into finishing their little our documentary. Hopefully the other channel takes off and I get some income coming from this thing, because it takes a lot of time to do all the video editing and put together everything and sort it all out. Like, I got a start on it, but I seriously need the income. I mean, I just do. So hopefully it comes. Hopefully the other channel explodes and at least get monetized, and which I don't mean it's going to be a lot of money. It might be just a little trickle, or maybe some millionaire jumps in here and fills the tip jar or some shit. I don't know, but something's got to give. Something's got to give, because fuck. Dark spots in the bushes is all I see in his pics, says Cowboy. Yeah. I can't believe this. I thought I was testing the limits in chat at Nikki's. I thought Nikki was gonna be like, Lockbeard, cut it out. And now she's catching shit because somehow she was being too hard on him. I'm kind of dumbfounded here. The guy's pics, I didn't see shit in his pics. And the fact that he's claiming there's Sasquatch in Ireland, you really got to bring the business if you're claiming there's a Sasquatch in Ireland. I'm sorry, you just got to bring the business, and he wasn't bringing shit. And he's showing me these pictures that looks to me like it's probably just some trees and whatnot, and maybe some rocks involved. I don't know. I didn't look too closely because the best I could see on the screen was just completely inconclusive. So I'm thinking this guy's just fucking with us. This guy's full of shit. He's a pareidolia guy. He's another Mark Zasky. We're just waiting to happen. Or he's just fucking nuts. Either way, I'm not going to have much patience with it. I just see no reason to have much patience for it. I don't, I didn't have a problem with how they addressed it on Nikki's show. Again, I was going a little hard on him in the chat. I was holding back because I didn't want to piss off Nikki. This is just hilarious. Nikki's catching hell for how they covered it. Uncle Bones says, Donald, yes, I feel bad because I want to see Mr. Lee, but not so much I go to Moog's show. Moog's is stirring shit up like before. What shit is he? Why is he? What do you mean? What shit's he stirring up? Donald says, Moog's feels we should look at all evidence and don't voice your opinion. I say F that. Yeah, what's the point? Why, if we can't come up with an opinion, what's the point in looking at any evidence? Cowboy says, I was checking Moog's show out first time in a while. Stopped watching when Dark Sewage took over his show, and I thought Jeff was going to lick his shoes. Oh, shit. Teresa says, people just don't understand how bad masks and hand sanitizers and all that other BS they shove down our throats. I refuse to wear a mask only at a doctor office or dentist office. Hell no to stores. Yeah. Yeah, they tried to just offer one to me at Walmart once, and I tore into them. I was like, I ain't wearing shit. Like, oh, we're just offering you one. Well, I don't give a fuck. They got the tallest, biggest associate standing at the door, handing out masks. So it's an intimidation factor you're trying to pull on people. It's what I think. People are gonna come in and they think they have to wear the mask. Because a lot of people aren't gonna like push back. They're just gonna comply and take the mask. Well, not me. Donald says Jeff lost a lot of viewers with his umbrella show now. Yeah. And again, this is another one that might need one of those closer looks at some point. And there's a couple people who've got stuff kind of gathered up, something to start with, if you know what I mean. I don't really, but they do, and they both seem to want to help because they feel like there's some bullshit that needs addressed. Cowboy says, I will never watch a show. Ass kisser. Donald says, I've talked to Damien K in his comments. He believes his shit is Bigfoot, and we are out to ruin his narrative. Well, I mean, if you bring a narrative that isn't backed by any real evidence and it sounds like bullshit, then the fact is you can't. I don't know what people think. Do you think that the only the people that support everything should be allowed to talk. You're basically, this is like that bullshit where you're not allowed to give a thumbs down. Like you can give a thumbs up, but you can't give a thumbs down. That's some bullshit right there. That's some anti-free speech, un-American bullshit right there. People should have a right to say, hey, I like this shit, or hey, I don't like this shit. When you take away the people's right to say, no, this is bullshit, you might as well just go sign up with the goddamn Nazis. You might as well. You're not giving people a right to dissent to something. That's like some basic American shit. The government sucks. Hey, I dissent. You guys suck. Thumbs down. Let's vote you out. Well, people who don't support that kind of shit, I don't know how the hell they think they're still real Americans. A real American believes that you get to vote shit down as well as up. Not that goddamn, what was over Facebook? Zuckerberg? Straight up Nazi ass motherfucker. Straight up Nazi ass piece of shit. And I'm glad Facebook is going down. And I'll eventually try to work my way out of there. I need to put together a message at some point after I get Minds all set up good enough. And because unless I can find a better option, I think Minds is the best option possibly as an alternative to Facebook. I don't really want to get sucked into Minds either. I'm just so sick of Facebook. I got sucked into Facebook so much in the past, and it's been nothing but just a waste of goddamn time and stress and bullshit. And sometimes there's interaction with people, it's just bullshit, and it's crazy. Magic Magnet Monkey is on. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna catch him tonight, though. I don't think I'm gonna catch him tonight. Teresa Ross says, "Who is Nikki?" Nikki, she was in here earlier. Her channel name is Harryman Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. She she's going after she's talking about hoaxers and stuff is what she usually does. And so on Sunday nights is when she does her show. Go ahead and pop up her channel here. But anyway, the other night, this guy was showing all these pareidolia pictures in her chat, and they were trying to be pretty nice about it, I guess. But there's her channel. Anyway, I guess apparently not everyone agreed that they were being nice enough. I was holding back, but I was afraid that that Nikki might get upset that I was going too hard on the guy. But now apparently she's catching some shit about them going too hard themselves, which I thought they were being extremely nice. So she's over, I guess she's in Mountain Time, 5 p.m. her time. It's 6 p.m. Central Time. I don't know what so whatever your whatever your time zone is, I guess you can convert it. The ABCs for squatching was when this guy Drake came in the chat at some point, and he had some pictures, and he talked with her before, and they critiqued the pictures, and they were kind of laughing at some of them because they're like, "You think this is Bigfoot? Seriously? There was no Bigfoot in the picture that anyone could find. Just normal forest stuff, trees and whatnot." And So yeah, the ABCs for squatching. Well, maybe we can jump in there and take a. Where was Drake? Towards the end. Towards the end.
Him going out and trying his best to, you know.
Yeah, there's the pictures. I mean, I seen this here. I'm thinking this guy's straight up trolling our ass. This guy's straight up trolling our ass. This person's claiming that this is Bigfoot right here. Just some straight up bullshit right here. Donald says, I'm pissed that Untold Radio took the steps to block all my channels. I feel they invaded my privacy. Yeah, how'd they know all your channels? I don't even know how to. How do you know? I don't know how you would figure that out. Somehow they figured it out, I guess, but it's crazy. And the fact that they need to block you speaks 1,000 words. Uncle Bone says Teresa Roth link is that Nikki's channel. Yeah, this was last. What you're seeing on the screen here was last Sunday show. This guy brought these pictures. These pictures are from Ireland. He's claiming there's a Bigfoot in that picture, and of course, you know, anytime you got to do circles or arrows or any of this bullshit or outlines, that means that there's nothing there for anyone to really see. Like a lot of us make fun of that. Like if you got to have circles in the picture, you ain't got a good picture or shit, and you probably ain't got shit in your picture. If you got Bigfoot in your picture, you don't need to circle that bitch. Eastern time, 7 o'clock. Teresa says, I just waved at them and kept walking. Uncle Bone says, Teresa, did you get Nikki's link? Mark Dahlman says, I remember that show, Cowboy, when you and Brent challenged him for going at Nikki. The only two, though. How long ago was that? Cowboy says, yeah, the others were a bunch of sissies, to put it nicely. What do you remember, like, the date of that show? Oops. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. All right, I didn't mean to do that, Cowboy. How the hell? Damn it, StreamYard. How the hell does this happen? Okay, damn it. Hold on a second. I'm going to get in there and unblock you. I think. All right. In case y'all ain't figured out, I accidentally just blocked Cowboy. Oh, shit. Come on. Takes forever to load anything. Let's see. Where do I go to undo this? There, I think. There. And where are you at? There's a lot of names in here. Where are you at? Well, Stick it in the middle somewhere. Man, there's a lot of names in here. Mods have been blocking the shit out of people. I don't see. Let me go over to the channel there. Did somebody unblock you for me? Oh, okay. All right, damn it. I thought I'd have to do it. Okay. Got him back. Sorry, cowboy. Well, there's a problem right there. Cowboy's not a mod. Well, maybe. Well, I don't know if they'll stop me from accidentally blocking him, but Mark Dodman says, "Good on you, Uncle. Didn't see all the comments as I was watching the show pretty intently." Yeah. Yep. How did I do that? That was crazy. Cowboy says, "Damn you." Stuck up for your on your comments. Donald says, "Lockbeard, you just blocked Cowboy." Yeah. I don't know how the hell. Yeah. I've been called that before. I normally don't block people in general unless they are a bot. Have all those subs. Intense show. Cowboy says, "I'm getting pissed just thinking about it." When was that show? Do you guys, like, how long ago was it? Was I there? Still block mods. Sanders says, "Cowboy, glad you're back." A few months ago. Orb butter comment? Wait a minute. Like just now? Donald, I'm not. Hold on. Oh, there it is. It was right about when I accidentally blocked Cowboy. Donald says the blocks came after the birth of the orb butter. Yeah, you know, orb butter's big problem. It had Steve Calls, Jeff Mogs, and Nikki. My memory sucks. I would think I would have been there. I haven't been in Mogs chat hardly at all lately, but I would have thought I would have been there, but maybe I was checked out. I know a lot of times I fall asleep during that because it's it's late. I'm not, it's kind of late for me now, really, but Anyway, I don't know about y'all, but looking at these pictures, if that was a Sasquatch, it had to be a one big motherfucker. Just Brent and you took up for Nikki. I'll have to try to look for that show and check it out, see what the hell the deal was, because I don't remember. Mogs was going after Nikki for some reason. Mark Dahman says it was just after that Vault fella claimed to have recorded a howl on his phone, yet it seemed it was one used on a movie. Yeah, I remember that. He straight up just took that from a movie. Donald says had to be December of last year. Oh, that's a while back. Oh my. If I get a chance, I'll have to go back and look it up. Oh, wait a minute. No, I know what you're talking. Yeah, because, yeah, dark sewage. Okay, I don't know what. It's late. Yeah, dark sewage called her like Miss Piggy or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I don't know if Teresa's still here. Yeah, Dark Waters is bad news in this community. It's just he tries to act like he's this hoity fucking Christian guy and all this bullshit. Man, he is bad news and pushing some serious bullshit. And you know, him and that whole crew will try and threaten you and shit if you piss them off too much, or they tried to threaten me with some legal action, which was just a bunch of bullshit. And I mean, the reality is I bet if I was in the same town as one of them fuckers would be coming and trying to like physically harm me. These guys are goddamn they think they're some kind of gangsters, but they're just a bunch of just a fucking lying ass fucks. You know, making up all this dogman bullshit. Uncle Bone says, Cowboy, I stuck for Nikki. All my comments were unseen, ignored. Mark Dahman says, was a bit disappointed in a couple of the people on the panel that evening. Yeah, that's it, says Cowboy. Sorry, Uncle Bones, I wasn't watching chat. I was ready to kick some ass. Yeah, that was way out of line. Like, why did he even say that? Fucking Uncle Bone says, Mark Dahman, yes, was not a good look for some on the panel. Donald says, and Mogs just sat there and said nothing in Nikki's defense. Yeah, that probably would have been an instant boot if that happened here. I don't ever have guests really, but if that had happened here, Dark Waters would have been just fucking booted, man. But see, you remember I did that one live stream that one night about fence riding, right? And how fence riding is a problem. And that situation is a clear example. You know, where someone's trying to play to the broadest range of people in the Bigfoot community. You can't do it. There are people who are just crap people and need to be pushed aside and stop considering them part of the community, whatever that means. What the fuck does the community mean? Well, to me, my community is people that, you know, like to come here and want to come here and that does not include the regular viewers of Vault of Nonsense or Dark Sewage or Das. It doesn't include their viewers. Their viewers are people that believe some bullshit, and they need to stay the fuck over there and be their community. They're not part of this community. They're a problem over there that sometimes attacks our community, right? They are they'll send their little fucking spies into the chat or whatnot and try to stir shit sometimes, but but you got people that want to try and reach out into all these different subgroups. They're involved in the paranormal subject matter, and as a result, some bullshit like that happens because you're trying not to piss off Dark Waters, but yet he's sitting here saying shit like that to Nikki right there on your show, and I guess the question is what do your morals say? Do your morals say that it's best to try and placate Dark Waters, or is it best to kick that motherfucker straight the fuck off the show because he just insulted Nikki? No, Dark Waters is not part of this community, and is at least my community, I guess. It doesn't necessarily include all these other fucks. And I just, people riding the fence. I don't think you should ride the fence. You should not ride the fence. Pick a fucking side. Pick a side. I'm sorry, some people don't like that idea. They want to try and placate everybody, but you can't, because if you do that, you're going to compromise your ethics. And that was an example right there. It just was. He should have been booted off that show immediately. Mogs, just let him keep talking, says Cowboy. Now that I think of it, Uncle, there were a couple of people in the comments having a right go at Dark Waters, and I bet it was you. Uncle Bone says, Cowboy, no worries. I know you and Mark Dobman were pissed. Donald says, I am locked and loaded for their trip to Vermont, Lockbeard. Yeah, you probably ought to be if they were coming your way. Bone says, Dodman, yes, there were a few in chat telling the truth on that sewer rat. Cowboy says, I proved that Vault was lying, and Dark Sewage said how I did it. How did I know? Said how did I know? Huh. Still here, Teresa says. Good to know. Yeah, I mean, some people say they criticize this kind of talk. They're like, you're creating division and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, division needs to goddamn be addressed because it's already there. We have to talk about it. Like this Mark Zasky character who I expect the chat's probably going to eviscerate his ass Saturday night. As you can see, I like to throw as many comments as I can up on the screen. I may not always be able to do that, but a lot of the times I do. And I found that it's been a good thing because there's been cases where someone come in a chat looking to start shit, and then they changed their name, or they delete their comments or something, but it's on the screen, it's recorded, so it ain't going away. Just because it's not in the chat anymore. But there's been people, some of these people that we're talking about have been involved with death threats. We don't support that. There don't need to be any death threats made against people just because they don't agree with you, or they don't believe in the bullshit that you're pushing, that's an excuse to threaten to kill people, and these fuckers have done it. And and how they stay on YouTube, it's amazing how some of these people stay on YouTube. I'll get kicked off because I'll say the wrong thing about C19 or jabs or some shit like that. I'll get kicked off YouTube, but these assholes over here making death threats against people, and they get to stay on YouTube. How the fuck does that work? I mean, it's nuts. Cowboy says, I played the clip from the movie he took it from, The Legend of Sasquatch. Cowboy, yes, says Uncle Bones. I sent it to you, Lock. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, like I said, it's late. I wasn't connecting the dots there for a little bit, but I'm really gonna probably have to stop the live stream pretty soon. Go ahead and wind down for the evening. Donald says, it wasn't hard to figure out that vocal was used in many productions in the 70s. Vault's just a dumb fuck that doesn't know better than to pull stupid crap like that. Yeah. There's a lot of bullshit in this community, and there's people that don't want to do anything about it, and that's why it proliferates. And then there's people like Cowboy and Donald and myself, Nikki, and it seems to be increasing with Nikki. Like, she's sick of the bullshit. The tall ones, Brent. These people are fucking sick of this bullshit, and it's got to be taken down. Steve Coles, like a couple weeks ago on his show, someone in his chat tried to suggest that that the best thing to do about these people is to leave them alone and they go away. And Steve Coles said, no, absolutely not. You leave them alone and they just fester and proliferate, and they just don't. You got to take them down. You got to actively take down bullshit. You got to take down evil. They're going to continue to do their bullshit and spread ridiculous ideas throughout the Bigfoot community. New people come in, they get exposed to this shit and start thinking there's something to it, and then they get down some rabbit holes that are dead end as hell, and they don't know they're on that path, and it may waste years of their lives trying to figure out where the truth is. And it's because of these people that need to be taken down. So is it the first one? Teresa says, "Oh, I just checked that guy out and realized he had been on Bigfoot Odyssey, and I couldn't watch him when he was on Carrie's site. Weird ass shit, that guy." Talking about Dark Waters, or probably Dark Waters, or the freaking Vault of Nonsense, Vault of Nightmares. But I tend to call him Vault of Nonsense. And then Dark Waters, I tend to call Dark Sewage. Donald says, Teresa Ross, he is nothing but a liar and another confidence man like Zasky. Cowboy says, Steve Coles was on there to going right along with them. So Steve Coles didn't do a takedown on I guess I'm going to have to go back and watch it. It's been so long. Teresa says, zero interest in listening to Dogman stories or other creepy shit. Yeah, Dogman just don't make any damn sense. Like, there's no, you can't look at the fossil record and say, well, something like that could actually fit in here. It don't make sense. It's clearly derived from Bigfoot legend, or I'm sorry, werewolf legends. And people, watch these fucking werewolf movies and they want it to be true, right? They just like people watching Matrix, and then they want to try and come up with some excuse for why the universe is why we're actually living in the Matrix. It's real. Somehow it's real. They do this with every goddamn movie. You get a certain number of people who watch the movie and want to try and confirmation bias their way to making it seem like the movie is real. But Dogman doesn't seem to fit. Like, now Sasquatch, it's just a big hairy person, right? It's just big hairy human. You're new on the channel, so you probably don't know yet that I think that if Sasquatch, if it is in fact real, and I'm pretty certain it's real, if it is real, morphologically and behavior wise and everything that we can be reasonably certain is true about it, all indicates that it's human. To me, I think, and whenever they finally do get regularly and repeatedly, reliably observed, and science is actually able to document those observations and then actually get DNA, and I am real certain that they're going to find out that Sasquatch isn't just a member of our same genus, that they are actually a member of our same species. I think they're just a race, that they're not a separate species at all, that they're a race of humans. And even though breeding with a race that big would not go so well for one of the participants, that it would be possible because they're the same species. That's my hypothesis based on what little we know. Of course, some people challenge it. Oh no, it's too big, and I'm like, you look at a Chihuahua standing next to a Saint Bernard and tell me. There's a way bigger size difference between those two dogs, but they're both still the same species. They're both still dogs. Now, a Chihuahua, you wouldn't want to try and breed those two breeds together, but genetically it would work out. A pregnancy would occur, and if that pregnancy was in the Chihuahua, that Chihuahua would probably die from that pregnancy, but it would still occur because they're the same species. And I think Sasquatch is the same species. But and that being said, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that there would be a larger type of humans running around. That's just because the only difference really is they're hairier and they're bigger. That's it. It's nothing weird. It's nothing crazy. But Dogman doesn't fit with anything. There's no reason to think that it's reasonable that to believe those things are real. But dark waters, vault of nonsense, Texas front porch pushes Dogman. I mean, all these people push Dogman. Donald says, Lock, you're going back and forth with your scrolling. Oh, you mean on the... Yeah, I was trying to find that where the howl was. Teresa says, Vault of laughter. They just laughed like crazy people. Cowboy says, no, he just kept saying, can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along? Man. Cowboys or Uncle Bone says, Cowboy, yes, I forgot that. Teresa says, I've never seen a Sasquatch, so I can't say if it's real or not. Hope I never do see one, but I do find people's stories rather interesting. Cowboy says, Teresa, I've never seen one, but I think I'm close. That's another channel right there, Teresa, the Squatching Cowboy. He don't do live streams, but he does uploads of videos talking about Sasquatch, and then his Wild West recreation. What do you call those? Like a recreation or a Wild West scenario? Like he dresses up like a Old West cowboy, which really ain't that different than his normal dress, I don't think. And does these, old West type skits on occasion. Probably some of his most viewed stuff. Maybe I don't know. I'd almost bet it is. Donald says, Teresa, there was a time Vault was threatening Lockbeard to me on his show. Yeah, he's a big boy. Yeah. Can't we all just get along? Says Teresa. Yeah. Cowboy says Tex was at the Texas Bigfoot conference Saturday wearing a I'm a Dogman t-shirt with a pink beard. What the hell? I'm a Dogman, and he dyed his beard pink. Is he transitioning into a woman, not necessarily a Dogman? Josie Wales. Teresa says, okay, I will check out Squatching Cowboy. Awesome. Teresa says, I seen one 1987 in Washington. Or Uncle Bone says, I seen one in Washington to Teresa. Let me see, y'all. Where's it at? There it is. There's a channel, Squatching Cowboy channel. Check out the video. He lost a bet. Oh, there you already got the awesome. Teresa says, apparently there are plenty in Washington. I grew up in Alaska, but never saw any. Yeah. I grew up in Oklahoma. Spent a lot of time in the woods, running around the woods, chasing reptiles when I was young. Most of the time I was chasing reptiles. Fishing and stuff too, but most of the time I was chasing reptiles. Anyway, never seen Sasquatch. I mean, I might have. I might have my hat. I'm not sure what I saw. It was really little. I think I saw something. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. But I think it was. Oh shoot! I think it was a Sasquatch. But I was just too young. It's just too inconclusive. And then one time when I was in the Appalachian Mountains panning gold, I was way off the beaten track somewhere, and I couldn't even tell you where I was at now. But I just had a sense that I was being watched. So, but I can't say that I know for sure that was a Sasquatch. I don't know. All I know is I turned around and went back the way I came. It was strong enough that I just didn't feel like I needed to freaking be there. And so I left. Bigfoot Conference, Texas style.
Cowboy here, and what better place to be in Texas than at a high school football game on a Friday night. In Jefferson, at the Texas Bigfoot Conference. Everything is bigger and better in Texas. Just look at this list of speakers at the conference.
Oh, who we got here? We got Lauren Coleman, Adam Davies, Sabella Irwin, Lyle Blackburn. I don't buy into some of these people. Shelley Covington, Montana, and Ken Gerhard. You ever know? Like I noticed this one thing I've always noticed that Ken and Lyle kind of wear the similar hats, and I'm wondering, okay, which one of these guys is copying the other one? I'm pretty sure one of them's copying the other one. I just don't know which. Yeah, that's the link. That's the link I just used to get there. It's the Texas Bigfoot Conference video. Donald says, "Lockbeard, we're going for a marathon." Nah, man, I need to I'm done. How far is it where Texas is in the video? It's a long video, so y'all can check it out. The link's right there in the chat. Uncle Bones provided it, but I thought maybe we would try to get a glimpse. Because are you saying you got Tex on video with his pink beard? Oh, you kidding me? Looks like it's right there.
Where's your sidekick at? I don't know. He wandered off, I don't know. It's so hard to tell us about the beard. Oh, well, we had a fundraiser to get Rob down here from Michigan. And I said, if we raise enough to do that, I'll dye my beard pink in honor of breast cancer awareness. So I am holding up my end of the bargain. Where's he at? Rob? I don't know. They just all ran off my beard. I'm taking a nap from him. I'll find
you. All righty then. Bone says, Teresa, my mom was born on Little Diomede Island, Alaska. She could see Russia from her house. I was up there a few years in Palmer, Wasala, Healy. That's where you're inside. Yes. Switch that hat style. You're waiting for Cowboy to switch to that hat style? No chance. Yeah, what's up with the hat? Like, I see, because I've seen over the years, I've seen those two guys, and I'm like, okay, it's pretty unique hat, you know. So which guy saw the other one and decided he was going to copy his Bigfoot model? You know, trying to act like he's some kind of. Because, like Lyle, I'm not buying Lyle. I don't know. Maybe he's got some legit stuff, but I'm just catching. Is that what? Lock 1 for the pink. Is that supposed? Is that? I don't know what you're. Catch y'all next time, says Mark. See you, Joe, mate, Uncle Bones, Donald, everyone else. See you, Lockbeard. See you later, Mark. We're probably shutting her down any minute anyway. Teresa says, Uncle Bones born in Anchorage. We had a cabin at Wasilla. Jump back here. Lock 1 for the pink. I don't know what that link's supposed to be. Oh, you took a clip.
I don't know. He wandered off, you know. I don't know. It's so hard to tell through the beard.
Oh shit! That didn't pop up in the same tab. That's all right though. We already saw it. We already saw it. Teresa says, good night to you all. I subscribe, so I will be back. A good thing, Teresa. Glad you came. Welcome. Hope to see you next time. Squatchy Cowboy says, I think Locke should do that to his beard. I don't know. I don't know about that. Pink's not my color. Later, Mark, tight lines. Yeah, I don't know how well this. There's some other streaming platform where you can show your chat on the screen, kind of like, you know, better than this though. This is kind of crappy, but I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of it, but I just don't know that it'll work. I think it's a pay, like you have to pay for it too. I'm already paying for so many different things to make this shit work. So I don't know if I want to do it. I can't remember, OBS or something like that. And then I saw something to Sasquatch about. He's using something new, but I don't know what he's using. I'm wondering if that's going to be better. And because there's just issues with StreamYard that need to be fixed. Squatching Cowboy says, well, diet brown for colon cancer. Well, it's pretty much brown already, so yeah. Donald's laughing madly out loud. All right, y'all. We went an hour longer than I was planning. But thanks for hanging out. And hopefully I do another random live before Saturday, but if not, I'll see you Saturday night, where it's going to be open season on Mark Zasky. So thanks for coming, and see you next time.